All right, good morning everybody, good afternoon, depends on where you're tuning in from. Welcome to another live session here on Facebook. My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be with you all, helping you all become better, smarter, faster investors, utilizing the mobile app from VectorVest. So good morning to all my high flyers out there. If you guys can hear me, let me know in the comments there. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if all the audio and videos coming through for you. Definitely want to make sure that, everything's coming through loud and clear for you guys, because today we've got really more of a unique session. May make this its own segment here going forward if you guys like it a lot. So if you guys enjoy today's stream, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that share button. This could be a new regular segment that we could possibly do. But what we're going to be doing is taking a look at hot stocks, your stocks, and really determine whether or not they're hot or not. So welcome once again. If you're brand new, what this is every single Thursday we go live here on Facebook where we take a look at the VectorVest Stock Advisory app. If you're not familiar with it, you can click on the link in the comments or in the description of this video and download it for free. Take a look at it, give it a 2-week free trial, sign up. I will be using the premium version of the app, so if you guys see something that doesn't look familiar, if you're already on the app, just give our support a call. They'd be glad to help you out, get you up and running there. But once again, welcome everybody. Hopefully everyone is doing well. And with that, let's go ahead, jump right into today's session here. So just making sure. Awesome. Everything's looking good. I see a lot of requests for stocks already coming in, so we'll definitely get to all those. We'll take a look at those. All right. First off, though, let's see what's going on in the market here today. So as we can see right now, we are currently 2 ticks into the red. Therefore, the market is somewhat bearish, and VectorVest does not advocate buying any stocks at this time. If we scroll down a little bit, we take a look at the color guard. As we can see, we have one yellow light in the price column because 5 trading days earlier it was green. And as we know, it can't go from green to red on a 5-day basis. And the red lights are coming from the RT, which is below 1, telling us the short-term trend in the market is down. And the buy to sell ratio is red as well, telling us that there's not very many stocks participating in the market right now, or at least more stocks not participating than that are participating currently. So if we look at the MTI, we can see we're at 1.26, telling us that, the underlying trend in the market is still up. We did see an intraday high about a few days ago where we hit a high of 1.5, which tends to be the upper extreme that we notice the MTI get to before we start to see the market take a pause or start to correct a little bit. But then we look at the trend column, we're in a down up situation. So on a weekly basis, or the primary wave is what we call it here, we are in a down situation for that. So that's going to be really aggressive for you short-term traders out there. And then the second part is just looking at the underlying trend again, or the MTI. So since the MTI is above 1, the underlying trend still remains up. And then for our most conservative investors, we always look at the calls column, which stands for our confirmed calls. These are going to be VectorVest's last signal we get to get into the market and our last signal we get to get out. As you can see, we still remain in a confirmed up situation. So if we scroll down a little bit more, as always, we like to take a look at the advanced declines because that's telling us how many stocks are moving higher for the day or how many stocks are moving lower. And if we're going to be entering the market in a certain direction, we like to see a 2-to-1 bias. So when we see the advances twice as high as the decliners on an up day, that tells us it's a good time to buy. And if we see twice as many stocks declining than advancing on a down day, that tells us if we want to open up a bearish position or a contra ETF or something around those lines, today would be a good possible day to do so. We scroll down, take a look at the major indices. Dow's down about 0.9%, Nasdaq's down about 1.5%, and the S&P is down about 1%. But here at VectorVest, we feel that it's better to look at the VectorVest composite because it's looking at 8,300 stocks, not just the Dow's 30 or the Nasdaq's 100 or the S&P's 500, but it's looking at a total of 8,300 stocks. So we feel it gives us a better representation on what's actually happening out there. And as we can see, it's also down about 0.9%, similar to what the Dow's down right now as well. Let's see. I see a lot of people chiming in, so hopefully everyone is doing well. Hopefully you guys are all, staying well, making some money here. And let's go ahead and start to take a look at a couple of hot stocks that I've got prepared for us today. But then, as always, we'll jump into your stocks and see if they're hot or not. So I see a lot of people already requesting a lot of stocks. We'll get to all of those. I can only see a limited amount in the chat because you guys are definitely chiming in, and I love seeing that. I love seeing everybody interacting with one another. So if I miss one of your stocks, I do apologize. It's not because I was trying to purposely avoid it, but it may be because that it's not, or it's so far up the chat that I don't see it here right now. So if I miss it, just go ahead and put it in again in a little bit, and we'll definitely get to it there. All right, so my picks that I'm going to be selecting today are going to be coming from our premium watch list. And we talked about it last week. We did have an issue with the notifications last week, so I apologize if you guys missed that. You can always go back to our channel and watch our replays as well. They are also going to be posted on our YouTube page here. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, head over to YouTube, search for VectorVest, go subscribe and like those videos as well. All right, so I'm going to do the daily boomers here so far for the day. Looking for stocks to buy long. Markets moving down. Obviously, contra ETFs could be a good next thing to look at, which we will actually take a look at here in a second. But starting off looking for some things to buy to the upside. So first one, HBP, it's up 50% so far here for the day. As you can see, it's very speculative. No surprise about that coming from the daily boomers. RT is at 2.0, telling us it's an extremely strong short-term uptrend. We take a look at the graph real quick. Let's go to a 1 month. You can see was moving sideways and then had a pop here today. Hit a high, but pulling back a little bit off of it. Maybe take a look at the 1 day. Would like to see it really continue that higher high, higher low pattern. But from an intraday perspective, definitely see some potential with this one. Hey, Michael. Yeah, I miss being in the Jockey Club, but I know you guys are in good hands right now. I've been tied up with some other tasks currently, but I plan on making it back into the Jockey Club soon, so don't you worry there. All right, so HBP, definitely looking like a viable candidate here. SPI, not a viable candidate. Moving lower, we take a look at a 1 month chart. See a lot of inconsistency. You see a dead cat bounce almost a month ago. Stock selling off here today. Yeah, it gapped up, but it hasn't been able to continue to move higher. Not going to be a hot one here. And then cars, don't really like that look so far. See a lot of indecision. You have higher highs, but then all of a sudden changing to higher low or lower highs, and also potentially lower lows as well. So gotta say, maybe hold off on that one for now. And then AVXL, definitely gonna pass on that one. REPL though, looks pretty good. You had a sideways movement for a while, but now starting to take off. You have 2 big up days. Would want to see it really continue to climb here throughout the session, but with the market pulling back, no surprise that it's getting, it's having a little bit of headwind coming up to it right now. But you look at what it's done so far this morning. It had a great run this morning. Now just kind of taking a breather here, moving sideways. So maybe keep an eye on this one if you're, a day trader. This could be definitely an interesting one to look at here. And then NHF, probably going to skip it. Not really continuing to hit higher highs. Really just flat so far for the session. And that's going to be it out of those. And then the last couple that I have that could be some potential hot stocks coming up are going to be, once again, under the premium watch list. And it's one that comes from our sessions here on Facebook. So we're going to look at the contra ETFs real quick. So for conservative investors, SH is a single leverage ETF. If you're not familiar with ETFs or, what leverage is and all that, make sure to go check out some of our videos that we have under our live session. You can watch all the replays of every live session we've done. We've done a lot about ETFs just in general, and that could be a good way to get familiarized with them. We take a look, though, of course, the RT is going to be below 1 right now. These are going to be more bottom fishing opportunities or short-term trading tools rather than an actual investment. So we go to the 1 month. What we see is a nice bounce off of that bottom. It's still trading in the upper half of the range so far for the day. As we looked at the 1 day, would like to see it, start to take out that double top at around 1976. But if we can do that, could be an interesting one to get into. Arturo, the image looks blurred. I apologize for that. Unfortunately, Facebook, ever since the lockdowns occurred, made us or forced us to decrease our resolution so that way it could handle the bandwidth. So unfortunately, I have no control over that. It's based on, what Facebook allows us to stream at. We used to stream at 1080, but now we have to stream at 720. So I apologize, but out of my hands on that one. All right, so SH looks like a viable possible candidate if it can break that 1976 level. Going back, let's go 3 months here. So with the Dow, we had almost a double bottom here, right around. Let's get it down there. From the 2nd of September until just a few days ago, pretty much a double bottom bouncing off of that. Once again, same situation as what we noticed with SH there, though. RWM, so looking at the Russell doesn't look nearly as strong as the other two that we looked at so far, but the Russell has been a hot ticket item, very, very volatile. Unfortunately, the look we have right now of it trading lower here after it gapped up, not necessarily the best sign that we've seen. And then we look at Chad, not going to get into that one, really doesn't pertain to our markets. Going to take a look at some of the more leveraged or triple leveraged ETFs that we have here. And if you guys are already in ETFs or contra ETFs, if you guys have started adding contra ETFs into your portfolio, let me know. If you haven't, make sure to hit that like button, share it with everybody, and make sure to pay attention because these could be some great tools to help your investments. All right, so taking a look at the Dow, it's going to be very similar to what we saw with DOG, but at the same time, you have a double bottom here bouncing off, gives you a little bit more leverage, maybe has a little bit more movement, but could be a great play, especially for you aggressive investors trying to make, quick percentage gains to add to your portfolio. Could be a very viable option. One thing is we've talked about in the past, looking at the charts and reading candlesticks. As you can see, I do have a 3/8 exponential moving average on here. One thing you could definitely do is if you're waiting for a little bit more consistency with them, you don't necessarily want to jump in on the very first day. You could simply wait for that 3/8 to cross over, and that would be confirmation that short-term momentum is definitely to the upside, utilizing some of these more volatile ETFs here. Greg saying he added VIX. Yeah, playing the VIX, definitely not a bad move. All right, so now that you guys see this, let's get into the main thing here today. What we're going to be taking a look at is analyzing your stocks and seeing whether they're hot or they're not. Let's see, Steve saying, hey there, Steve, glad to have you here. Put a little TQQQ, but no contra ETFs as I can't watch closely enough. Hey, understandable. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and start to analyze some of your guys' stocks and see what category they fall under. So I got to scroll all the way back up here. I see a lot of people requesting REGI. So let's go ahead and take a look. And guys, I'm going to be analyzing your stocks. If you've got friends that you invest with that, maybe they want to see how their stocks or get ranked, make sure to tag them in the comments there. Make sure to share this video out with all your friends. Get them in here because the more stocks we're going to analyze, the better it's going to be for everybody. So if you haven't already hit that like button, you haven't already hit that share button, go ahead and do so now. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and it helps me out and continues to grow our group, and it helps you guys get new ideas or new perspectives that you may not have seen in the past. All right, so REGI. You have great long-term potential. You have really solid fundamentals. So a prudent stock here. Really nice uptrend on a short-term basis, but let's go ahead and take a look at the graph. So it depends on how you're trading this stock first and foremost, but on a short-term basis, I'm going to take a perspective of a swing trader, for example. Looking at it here over the last 3 months, you can see a nice steady uptrend. It's gone from 30 to, it's pretty much doubled in the last 3 months, over doubled in the last 3 months actually. And the 3 and the 8 maybe have pulled back a little bit, but now you're really starting to see it, giving you some bearish signs. Not only from a candlestick pattern, but also looking at the 3 and the 8 starting to break down. Maybe time to at least protect profits. Overall, still a great stock if, one day doesn't make a trend on the 3 and the 8. So if you're waiting to see confirmation and you have a great gain, you're already up over 100% most likely if you got in, 3 months ago. This could be one that, today may not be the trigger, but set an order in for the next day to see if it follows through tomorrow. That would be the confirmation that you're looking for to say, hey, it's time to take my profits. I have good gains. Gonna hold off, see if I can buy it at a better price in the near future. All right, so that's REGI. Let's go ahead, take a look at the next one. GRVY dropped so much and got back in such short time. GRVY. So GRVY, great long-term potential, solid fundamentals, really strong short-term uptrend. It's up 4% already here today. So right now, still looks pretty good. Yes, it's volatile. It has big moves higher and lower. But what we see is the uptrend still remains intact. You have higher highs and higher lows. By basic definition, still keeping it an uptrend. However, now all of a sudden, you saw the bounce off of that most recent low right here. Let's see what date that was. Right around the 7th or 6th of October. And you had a nice little rally, but it hasn't taken out that previous high. So this is telling us right now, it was a hot stock, but maybe starting to cool off a little bit. And keeping an eye on it is probably the best approach to it right now. Especially with the fact that it's gone from 60 all the way up to 140 just a few weeks ago. Now trading at 125. So still up 100% so far over the last 3 months. FVRR. So a speculative stock needs to be treated more aggressively. You have poor long-term potential, a little bit more risk than average in this stock. You have a really nice strong uptrend. Overall, this stock is favorable. It's down 4% here today, but overall, the 3 and the 8 still remain intact, so it still has short-term momentum to the upside. Tells us this is a good looking opportunity. With that as well, just something to look at with the candlesticks. Let's go 1 month. It is forming a doji right now after that pullback or after the drop this morning. So tells us there's still some indecision. Investors aren't quite sure that, this is going to be the turnaround for it. So you still see some hope. And with the 3 and the 8 still positive, yeah, definitely still a hot stock right now. Nioh, sure. I've seen a lot of people ask about Nioh. Nioh, very speculative play. Major Money is giving it some boost. You have a lot of ratings bumps with this stock over the last couple of weeks. Still defying gravity. But yeah, speculative play. But at the same time, the timing at 2.0 tells us it's in a really strong uptrend. And for a momentum play, definitely not a bad look. We look at it here when the 3 and the 8 crossed over. It was trading at around 20. Now it's trading at 28. Yeah, still 3 and the 8 are positive. High momentum. Still a hot stock right now. Next one, TTOO. Let's see with TTOO. So same situation as what we saw with Nioh. It's a very speculative stock with a poor RV and RS. So poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. Looking at the timing though, this is where the kicker is. The timing is at 0.46, telling us on a short-term basis, it's falling like a rock. Therefore, the stock is not a hot stock right now. Let's see what else we have. Wkhs. All right, let's take a look. Wkhs. So, a very speculative play. You have poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with this stock. It's in a slight decline. The stock is definitely overvalued. Therefore, not a hot stock right now. Let's zoom out to a 3-month. On a 3-month, you have lower highs starting to form, potentially lower or heading towards lower lows. The 3 and the 8 are negative, so definitely a not category right now. KXIN. Great long-term potential, but does have a lot of risk associated with it. Some decent upturn or short-term momentum to the upside right now. Ooh, down 37% so far here today, but look at where it was. It was $2.10 just a few days or yesterday. And yeah, definitely see a pump and dump kind of situation occurring with this. Let's go look at the 1 day. Yeah, 1 day doesn't even look that good. Not seeing any sort of a bounce or recovery. So definitely got to classify this as a not right now. RKT. Sure, we can take a look. RKT. All right, just trying to find a spot that the cord keeps disconnecting. There we go. All right, so RKT, you have good long-term potential, but does have a lot of risk. Looking at the timing, 0.79 tells us it's in a steady decline with the market dropping. Definitely a not right now. We take a look at the graph. That's on a 1 day. Let's go to a 3-month. 3-month, the 3 and the 8 getting ready to cross. So be careful with that. Keep a close eye on it. With the way it's looking right now, not looking too great. But you gotta be extremely careful, especially after you have a pattern of lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, so definitely a not right now. Let's see, CRSP. There we go. CRSP, poor long-term potential, about average risk associated with it here. How about hot options? Well, Ronald, I don't do options. We don't have options on the mobile, so we're not going to be doing options here today. But if you do options or you do trade options, we do have a lot of options, tools and courses where we go over every single Monday. We do a live session with our options, course and talk about different potential trades for the week. So if you're looking for options to trade, make sure to give our support a call. Ask them about our Options Pro and our Options Paycheck courses, and the training and coaching that comes along with it. All right, so CRSP, uptrend at 1.18 or short-term trend up at 1.18. Very, very low for what we've seen with the market. Let's go ahead and take a look at the graph real quick. You see a huge sell-off coming in yesterday, moving lower here today. Granted, the 3 and the 8 are still positive, but after seeing yesterday's candlestick, not a great look. I'm gonna have to put it in a not category, but if you're buying in at the lows, you still have some wiggle room there. You may give it a little bit more room to run just in case, but from seeing yesterday's candlestick pattern, gonna have to put it in the not category there. All right, MITK, great long-term potential, solid fundamentals, so less risk associated with it. Timing at 1.17. So looks good so far. Taking a look at the graph over the last 3 months, you had a really nice run, but 3 and the 8 are starting to turn negative. I don't like seeing the candlestick from here, that big sell-off. A lot of profit taking going on there. I'm going to have to put it in the not category for now. All right, AKAB. AKBA. Okay, AKBA. There we go. So biotech, very risky, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. Timing at 0.13, definitely going to be in the not category. I'll go take a look. It's trying to recover a little bit after the drop from $10 down to almost $2. Definitely going to be a not right now. All right, GE. Good long-term potential, but a lot of risk. Looking at the timing, it's basically flat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the graph. Whew. So a lot of volatility, just higher, lower. Let's go 6 months, get a better picture of it. Overall, over the last 6 months, still flat. Let's go 1 year. Definitely down a lot. definitely going to be in the not category for that. Short-term basis, you've broken that gap up. You've broken the low of that gap up. That's usually a bad sign. Therefore, I'm going to still keep it on the not category, even on a short-term basis. JMIA. All right. Let's see. JMIA. Poor long-term potential. A lot of risk associated with this stock. It's in a steady decline. Overall, stock's not favorable from that standpoint. From a technical standpoint, you see a potential sell-off coming in from yesterday, follow through here today. Even though the 3 and the 8 is still positive, the fundamentals don't give us a lot of hope for it. Definitely going to be in the not category after seeing that. DraftKings DK. Oh, let's go DKNG. There we go. So very speculative, brand new stock out in the market. Timing at 1. Let's go take a look. 3 and the 8 crossed about a week ago. Let's go 3 months. Yeah, with the 3 and the 8 below, or 3 and the 8 negative, you have DPO crossing into negative territory now. Definitely going to be in the not category. It's been a huge mover for a while. You should have some decent gains. You see a lot of signs telling us it's people are taking their profits. All right, ERX. ETFs, great. All you got to do with an ETF is look at the timing. At 0.44 tells us it's in a steady decline. Therefore, definitely going to be in a not category. Don't even need to look at the graph on it right now. Let's see what else we got. Fvrr. All right. And if you guys like today's session as well, once again, this could be, I've been thinking about making this a regular segment here. So if you guys really enjoyed today's session, show some support, hit that like button, hit that share button, because that's going to show me you guys are enjoying this session. So if you are, make sure, if you guys want to see this again, make sure to hit that like button, share it out with all your friends, family, trading groups, whatever it may be. Get the message out so that way it shows me you guys want to see more of these kind of Thursday sessions here. All right, so looking at Fvrr, you have poor long-term potential. You have a lot of risk associated with it. Looking at the timing, 1.24, it's okay, but the risk is not, or that momentum is not outweighing the risk that's involved with this one. Looking at the last 6 months, yeah, it's had a great run. Let's go ahead, look at it from a shorter term basis. So you saw a lot of profit taking just earlier this week and now starting to pull back. 3 and 8 are still positive. You see the stock bouncing off of those lows. It's definitely recovering a little bit. There's hope, but at the same time, cautiously optimistic, I feel like, is the best one. We'll go ahead and put it in the hot category for now, but definitely borderline right there. Can you place a trailing stop on an option? That is a question, Ronald, you'd want to ask your broker. Every broker is different. So I don't know what the exact answer is for that one because I don't know what broker you use and also don't know every single broker's options that they have out there. All right, so PLL, looking at lithium, Piedmont Lithium. Poor long-term potential. You have a lot of risk associated with this one. Timing is below that 1.1 marker. It's still in an uptrend, but not very much. So probably going to say not right now. Taking a look, 3 and the 8 are negative. You saw it try to rebound after that big gap up, but really not recovering like we wanted it to. Definitely going to be put in the not category for time being. Let's see. Solo. So Solo, another speculative play, timing at 1.19. Really, with stocks that have an RV and an RS below 1, we prefer to see the RT at 1.4 at minimum or higher. With it 1.2, really doesn't cut it, but we'll take a look. 1 month, you're seeing some short-term momentum starting to build. Doji right now, it's recovering a little bit off of those lows. 3 month and a steady decline. So maybe a new uptrend starting to pick up, but after yesterday's big movement, not seeing a follow through here today, probably gonna have to put it in the not category. TRVN, very speculative once again, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk, timing at 1.35. Overall, stock's not favorable. 3 and 8 crossed below or turned negative just a couple of days ago. DPO starting to drop. Probably going to have to put that in the not category for now. Let's see. Apple. So looking at Apple, good long-term potential, less risk associated with this stock. No surprise there. Looking at the timing, 1.28 shows us it has some decent short-term momentum to the upside. Overall, the stock is favorable. Looking at it from a technical basis, or looking at the chart of it, we can see that the 3 and 8 are still positive. It did have a pretty decent sell-off here just about a month ago, telling us we want to be cautious with it. But if we look at it from a 6-month, you're still at higher highs, higher lows. Let's see if it, if you get in, let's see if it can take out that previous high. That give us a little bit more caution or a little bit more comfort with the stock right now. But overall, still looks pretty good. Gonna have to keep it in the hot category. SNPM, let's take a look. SNMP, excuse me. All right, so very speculative. Timing at 1.1, really not the strength we like to see. Broke below the, let's go ahead, zoom in. So as I've talked about many times in the past in other sessions, when you see a stock gap up, the best place to put your stop is right at the low of that gap up day. If it breaks past that point, the probabilities are not in your favor that the stock's going to continue to climb higher. Well, we saw it come down a little bit right below there intraday, but it held its own. Then all of a sudden here, it broke below. That tells us that the probabilities are in favor that it's going to fill that gap and head down to this 40-cent range rather than continue to climb higher here. All right, TOMZ. Good long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it, so definitely more of a aggressive play here. Timing at 0.71, not really where you want to see it. Taking a look, it's had a great run. 3 and 8, very, very close to crossing over. If the 3 crosses below the 8, definitely going to be in the not category, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and say, it's hot right now, but definitely cooling off. All right, let's see. SDC. Speculative. Really strong momentum, though. Let's take a look at the graph. On a 1 month, looks pretty good. 3 and 8 just kissed yesterday, bouncing back. I like seeing that. Let's go 3 month. 3 month, really strong momentum. Let's go 6 month. 6 month looks good. Definitely going to have to put this in the hot category still. Let's see. Kodak, KODK. All right, Kodak, very speculative, no surprise there. You had a spike just a few weeks ago or a few months ago, but quickly dropped back down to 0.13, basically flatlined after that quick spike. Definitely going to be in the not category here. Let's see. TSLA, so Tesla. As always, good long-term potential, less risk associated with it, really strong short-term momentum behind it. Stock's definitely favorable. From a technical basis, you're really in what we like to call a wicked wedge. You have lower highs currently, but also higher lows. And, that's indecision. That's showing investors indecision. What you would do, the best way to treat it, use a trend line on the lower part of those lows right there. If it breaks that, it would definitely be in the not category. But for the time being, still got to keep it in the hot category. All right, let's see. Plug, PLUG. All right, Plug, very speculative, but great short-term momentum. It's had a huge run over the last few weeks. Let's take a look. 3 and 8 looks like it's getting ready to cross over as of today. So, been in the hot, maybe coming not now. APOG, good long-term potential. A lot of risk associated with it, though. Strong momentum to the upside. You saw it try to sell off today with the overall market, but it's bouncing back nicely. Still got to keep in that hot category. It would get even hotter if we saw it take out those previous highs just set a few days ago. DAL. Poor long-term potential. A little bit more risk than average out there with this one. Timing at 1.13, not that strong. It's above 1.1, but 3 and the 8 are below, or 3 is below the 8. Short-term momentum is to the downside. Definitely going to be in the not category here. ICLN, easy. ETFs, 1.37, short-term momentum to the upside. Take a look at the graph. 3 and the 8 still positive. I'm going to have to give this a hot still, even because it's clean energy, and clean energy has been phenomenal over the last few months. But at the same time, maybe taking a little bit of a break here. So be careful with that. Still going to be in the hot category, but keep your eye on the 3 and the 8. DIS. Poor long-term potential. About average risk involved with this stock. Stock's been moving sideways. Gonna have to be in the not category for now. ADT, good long-term potential. A little bit more risk than usual though. It's in a strong decline, so definitely in the not category right now. Let's take a look. All right. Good long-term potential. You have a little bit better than average risk involved with this stock. Basically flat on a short-term basis. Looking at it here, lower highs, lower lows. I know the 3 and the 8 are positive, but I don't like the overall trend with it. Gonna have to put it in the not category. Let's see what else we got. Done a lot of those. NXST. There we go. Also, as a side note, guys, I know a lot of you guys come in every single week. I want to let everybody know that next Tuesday, we do have the kickoff for our Financial Freedom Summit. It's free. If you guys haven't joined or registered yet, I urge you to go do so right now. It's VectorVest.com/summit. I will be doing a demonstration on the mobile app, how to manage your stocks on the go, around 2:45 on the first day, so on Tuesday. So if you haven't already registered, make sure to get in there, make sure to sign up for that and be there. It's going to be on our YouTube page, so make sure to get that registration in early, and make sure to meet us over there on Tuesday at 2:45 as well. So NXST, great long-term potential, a little bit better than average safety involved with this stock. Timing, not there. So let's take a look at the graph real quick. Graph 3 and the 8 crossed below 1, or 3 and the 8 crossed negative a while ago. Definitely going to be in the not category right now. Fastly, there we go. Fastly, FSLY, there we go. Poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. It's in a steady decline. Overall, definitely not favorable right now. Down 23% here today. Apps, let's go ahead, take a look. So apps, you have great long-term potential, solid fundamentals, really strong uptrend. Overall, stock's definitely hot. Looking at it from a technical basis, 3 and the 8 are still positive. I see a little hesitation, a little indecision after yesterday's doji. Today could be followed through, so I'd be a little careful with this one currently, but still got to keep it in the hot category. Facebook, FB, let's take a look. Facebook, great long-term potential, solid fundamentals. Timing though, starting to decline. Stock's favorable from a fundamental standpoint, but from a timing standpoint, definitely going to be in the not category right now. EPAM. Hey there, Jay. Glad to have you here. Glad to see one of my original high flyers in the chat there with us. All right. So EPAM, great long-term potential, solid fundamentals, steady, consistent uptrend. Taking a look at the graph, see a slight hesitation yesterday, some potential sell-off coming in yesterday, but for now, still got to keep it in the hot category. Msft. Msft, great long-term potential. You have solid fundamentals with this one. Timing is a little hesitant though. Taking a look at the chart, a lot of volatility with Microsoft recently over the last 3 months. Looks like it's trying to recover. I'm going to have to put it in the hot category for now from a short-term standpoint. But from a longer-term standpoint, could be starting to see a lower high being formed, which would tell us to be extremely cautious with it. Let's see, JPM. JP Morgan, poor long-term potential, about average risk involved with this stock. Timing is about average right now. Therefore, the stock's pretty much just average. Yeah, you had a little short-term bounce, but overall the stock is flat. Gonna have to put it in the not category for the time being. PLTR. Let's see. Very speculative stock. Timing is at 0.92. 3 is below the 8. Definitely a not right now. UPS. And once again, if you guys are enjoying this and if you guys see something here that, you don't see on your own version, give our supporter a call, let them help you out. Or if you're new or you're not already subscribed or not already, on the stock advisory, click on the link in the description of today's video, download it, take it out for a test spin. Seeing is believing. Put it to the test for yourself. Guaranteed it will help you make money in the market and help make your investing life a lot easier. All right, so looking at UPS, you have poor long-term potential. Solid fundamentals, though. Really strong momentum to the upside. Take a look at it from a technical basis. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good here. Let's see, make sure everything... Okay, cool. So yeah, gonna have to say definitely still a hot stock right now. All right, we'll do a couple of more for today. Let's go ahead. RIOT. So Riot, speculative stock, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with this stock. About flat on a short-term basis. Yeah, you've had a little bit of a pop, maybe starting to make a new run, but I don't like seeing that big sell-off that we've had over the last 3 months. Short-term, there's hope, but I'm going to keep it in the not category for now. Let's see, ENPH. ENPH, great long-term potential, solid fundamentals, less risk associated with the stock, really strong short-term uptrend. Therefore, stock's definitely favorable. Looking at it, 3 is still above the 8. Yeah, definitely still a hot ticket item here. All right, I'm going to go down to the bottom. I already did JMIA, so if you guys didn't see that, don't worry, you can go back and watch a replay and see what we said about that. SQ, I'll do 2 more for the day. SQ, poor long-term potential, but solid fundamentals, really strong momentum behind it. Taking a look, still a hot stock, higher highs, higher lows. 3 is above the 8. Still got to stay in the hot category here. Let's see. And finally, Mdrx. Let's go ahead. Mdrx. Mdrx, you have poor long-term potential. You have a lot of risk associated with this stock. Timing though, it's a hot momentum item right now. I like what we're seeing with it. Let's zoom into a 1 month. I like seeing that. Definitely going to be in the hot category. So this one, not a bad option there. I like what we're seeing with that. So jumping back to the homepage though, as we can see right now, regardless of whether the stock is hot or not, if you haven't already gotten into it, right now is not the time to be getting into any new long positions today. If you're already into them, by all means, follow, take some of the guidance that we talked about. But looking at it here, you still have 2 red lights. RT's picking up a little bit. Buy to sell ratio is picking up a little bit. If you look above me at the advance to declines over there, you can see that the advances have been picking up all throughout the session, but the decliners still well outpacing the advances by a 2-to-1 ratio or higher. Looking at the Dow though, the Dow's picking up nicely. Nasdaq's coming back a little bit. S&P's coming back a little bit. VectorVest Composite is coming back. So we do see some potential hope there. But for now, hold off, wait for a better buying opportunity. But hopefully today's session helped you guys identify what's hot, what's not, maybe some new ideas out there. If you like today's session, once again, and you want to see more of these hot or not segments, make sure to like the video, make sure to share it out there. All that tells me that you guys enjoy these sessions, and we will do them again. If I don't get a lot of responses from it, then obviously, that tells me otherwise. So let me know in the comments. Let me know based off your reactions, your shares, all of that. All of that tells me you guys enjoy this segment, especially here. So with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your trading day. Take care. Be safe out there. Don't forget, next Tuesday at 2:45 Eastern, I will be live on on YouTube for our Financial Freedom Summit, doing a live demonstration of the mobile app. Oh, there we go. Why is that disconnected? There we go. We'll get it there. And so I will put the link for the summit in the description. So if anybody hasn't already registered, give me 1 second here. So it's in the description, or it's in the comments. If you haven't already registered for it, make sure to do that. Day one, we're going to be talking about swing trading, I believe. Actually, we'll go ahead and just do this. Let me switch it over. And here we go. So day one, all about swing trading. Day two, we're going to be talking about options. So I saw a bunch of people asking about options earlier. Day two, we're definitely going to be talking about options. And day three is going to be for retirement people out there. So if you guys haven't already registered, make sure to do so. Make sure to join in on our Financial Freedom Summit. It's free education to help you guys become better investors and help reach your goal that we talk about week in and week out of becoming financially independent, utilizing the markets to trade, to generate income and wealth for yourselves. So with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Take care. Make sure to be there at 2:45 on Tuesday, and then again at 11 a.m. Eastern on next Thursday as we do another live session here again. Bye, everybody. Thank you for all tuning in. See you all next week.